Bitcoin has officially hit a new all-time high. It happened over the weekend on a Sunday. I was going to make a video on Sunday, but I decided not to. And there's no real sense of urgency. So what I drew here has played out. I do think we're going to go higher. There is further to go. People are wondering what's going to happen now. And I did cover this in my last video. When we do have a move like this, let me just try and find the chart that I was scribbling on. Okay, I can't find the chart that I was scribbling on, but yeah, where does Bitcoin go from here? Now, I was looking at channels a little while ago, that's what I was talking about, and I did draw these two lines here, and I said, look, we need more data, especially with this top one, so we have more data now. So what I would probably say is I'd probably connect that point and that point, and when it's a channel, it needs to be somewhat parallel. Like that really isn't like a proper channel. I mean, yeah, you could argue it is. So I would probably say, this is a good little channel that's forming now. So we really want Bitcoin to hold this. And if it does break, then, we'll have a bit of a downtrend. But you got to remember to zoom out in the longer channel, longer time frame channel. It is still bullish. So normally in this situation, we do have a bit of a pullback. And don't panic if that happens. It's normal market action. Now this is a bit untidy, but I don't like to always delete these lines here. I like to keep them for a bit. And so I'm going to come back to this chart, and so I'm going to come to a different chart. Oh, I do want to talk about this as well, Bitcoin dominance, but we'll come back to that one. Let's just use this chart here, and let's zoom out. There's a lot of lines and drawings. I was looking at when the price was around about here, I was talking about potential levels that Bitcoin could hit if these trend lines did break, but they didn't. And so I'm going to leave them just for the time being. And let me find a tidier chart. Alright, let's just go with this one. So let's go down into the 4 hour. And let's delete this. And yeah, really, that trend line, we want to hope this one holds. And if that one breaks, then we do have some longer term ones as well. This red one here, this is the one that I'd be tracking. And getting back, this is an example of how I remember I was on a coaching call with a client actually, and I was saying, look, what is Bitcoin going to do from here? And I said, what's realistic for me is that it's probably going to range somewhat over here before breaking out. And there's different time frames here. And I just drew what I thought was going to happen, and it actually happened a lot sooner, which is good. And this is the thing with these patterns, don't get too tied into the timelines. Sometimes things take a little bit longer to play out, and that's okay. And so yeah, this red trend line here is what I'm going to be looking at, and also there's another trend line there. So yeah, if we do have a pullback, we just want to make sure these levels hold. And if they don't, then you just go on to the next trend line. But yeah, Bitcoin's, it's on a good run, people. This is something to enjoy. I'm waiting for alt season like a lot of people, and I do believe it's coming. Let's flip back to Bitcoin dominance. I text this out in my group, in my Telegram group. The link's in the description below if you want to join. And we're just waiting for this to fall. And what could happen from here is this is a rising compression. And like it played out on the Bitcoin chart, this is on the Bitcoin dominance. This normally does break to the downside. And I'm hoping it does, because I really want to see this happen. Because when this happens, alts will go crazy. And yeah, that's what we want. So yeah, that's the raw update. I mean, I would probably expect a short-term pullback, but long-term, things are still bullish, people. Enjoy.